Thank you again for joining me. Today is episode 6 of Ryan's first visit to the Walt Disney World Resort. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all focused on the resort I stayed at, the Caribbean Beach Resort. I had a pretty tight focus on the Jingle Cruise, which is the Jungle Cruise overlay, Magic Kingdom, Disney Springs, Disney's Hollywood Studios, and today, of course, will be EPCOT. I did not go to the Animal Kingdom. I wish I had, but alas, I ran out of vacation. So we'll try to get there again this year and visit all 4 parks in Disney Springs again. We'll see how that goes. But today is a little bit about EPCOT, and as always, just a brief history before we get into my videos and still photographs. EPCOT opened in October of 1982, and it was called the EPCOT Center at that time. And it was the second park in the Walt Disney World Resort to open. It's actually a little over 300 acres, about 305 acres, which is twice the size of Magic Kingdom. And at that time, it was dedicated to essentially human achievement. I think achievement in both technology as well as culture and customs, I suppose, on some level. And in a way, it's kind of this permanent World's Fair, I suppose, will be, or at least has been until recently. You might even call it sort of combining of education and entertainment, sort of edutainment, if you will, the park itself. Of course, we all know that EPCOT, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, first conceived by Walt Disney, at some point in the 60s, I suppose. And he had this idea of building a community where there was a central hub where people worked, played, I suppose, and as you fanned out on the peripheral, this would be where people would leave this sort of utopic society. Obviously, that never came to be, and I think his idea was based, or inspiration was based a lot on a British planner whose name was Ebenezer Howard. Who names their kid Ebenezer, right? But anyway, Ebenezer Howard, I've not read his book or his plans, and it was called The Garden Cities of Tomorrow, but from what I understand, Mr. Disney was heavily influenced by that. And the idea being at this EPCOT, this community of tomorrow, people would use people movers and monorails, and the buses and stuff would be underground. You've all seen the videos. Well, he's dead. It's not really going to work out that way. So they build Magic Kingdom, and then on the success of that, they start to build EPCOT, and I think it's kind of a hobgoblin of ideas. Again, cutting edge technology, which is difficult because cutting edge technology changes quite rapidly. So by the time you start building something and complete it, that technology essentially is obsolete. So that's a tough thing to constantly focus on. And then international cultures and customs, which I think they do a very, very good job of on their little showcase. There's basically 2 lands, I guess, if you will. There's Future World, which would be that tech side, I suppose, and World Showcase, which showcases countries around the world, and cultures and foods, etc., etc. One small, some people talk about the town of Celebration, which was established in 1994. It was at one point it was on Walt Disney World property, as that was, Eisner had done that, I believe, because he was in charge in the 90s, that they had sort of completed that idea that Walt Disney first had, but I really don't think that's true. I think Walt's idea was based on this modernist, futuristic utopia, and Celebration is really just this new urbanism, really. And I'm going to do a whole video on Celebration because it's actually very interesting. I watched a movie about it. I've got some brochures and some different things. It's very interesting little community known as the bubble. But that's a future episode. Anyway, so EPCOT, they don't have a ton of rides, as it were. They've got, Journey to Imagination with Fidget, Soarin', like they do here at Disney California Adventure, Living with the Land, which kind of takes you through how we're trying to sort of save the planet, living with the land. Spaceship Earth, Mission Space, Test Track, they have a Frozen show, and coming soon is Ratatouille and Mary Poppins, and you get the sense that they're going to start putting more attractions into EPCOT to sort of keep it fresh. Now, when I was there, a lot of Spaceship Earth, that area was all being refurbed. I understand all those walls are down, but some of the pictures and videos that you're going to see, the walls are still up. And because of COVID, a lot of the refurb of the rides was delayed. So in a sense, I was very fortunate because I sort of got to see Spaceship Earth and some of the Figment rides as they've been since the 80s. The animatronics are kind of tired, certainly due for a refresh. But great experience. EPCOT is a wonderful park. There's a ton of stuff to see, and there's a ton of food to eat. If you're a foodie, that's a place to go, because as you walk through World Showcase, at every spot there's different food and different drinks, and atmosphere. There's a tremendous amount that you can learn and be entertained by. And over the years, they basically have the Festival of the Holidays, Food and Wine Festival, which we have at DCA, Flower and Garden Festival. I don't even know what else they have. I'm sure they have many more attractions. One thing that's kind of interesting is it was called EPCOT Center in the beginning, and then at some point they dropped Center from the name. It just became EPCOT. I think that was in the 90s, and instead of it being all capitals, it just was an E and then EPCOT, and the C kind of held the globe. And it had been that way for many years, and I guess just recently they've gone back to, I think, 2016, 2017, all capital, again, just EPCOT, no more EPCOT Center, etc. But anyway, take a look. Here's some of my videos of my day and some stills of the day. I hope you enjoyed the first 5. I hope you enjoyed this one. And again, check back because we're going to do a video on Celebration, Florida. It's a very interesting little town. I guess that's what you would call it. Very Stepford Wives-y kind of. But at any rate, take a look, and we'll see you on the other side. Okay, I am on board the Skyliner, headed for what I believe to be EPCOT. Forgive the picture, but it obviously got sunscreens and things. It's a little warm, but I think once we get moving, there'll be a bit of a breeze. Wow, this is super cool. Disney Skyliner. Look at that. Well, look how beautiful.
Welcome aboard, Islanders.
Welcome aboard, everybody.
The Disney Skyliner at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. We're flying to Disney's Riviera Resort with continuing flights to EPCOT.
Oh, there we go. I don't know if you can see it off in the distance, but there's...
Hold on to your straw hats.
EPCOT.
We are about to enter the heart of the Caribbean.
My God, if you get a chance, this is pretty cool. I don't know what resort that is. I think that's...
We are now sailing over
Pop
Disney's
culture, maybe?
Caribbean Beach Resort, home to a collection of tropical villages inspired by the colorful architecture and lifestyle of the Caribbean islands.
This is where I'm staying. It's quite lovely. You can see the water surrounding it. I'm in one of the yellow bunkers. I really don't know where that's at, but sit back down here.
In just a minute, we will be arriving at Disney's
Can you see
Riviera
Spaceship
Resort,
Earth out there in the distance, guys?
Vacation Club resort that celebrates
So cool.
relaxing seaports and romantic vistas
So cool.
of Europe's Mediterranean
And there is a
coast.
breeze that kind of comes up through this here, this grate, which you really can't see through, but absolutely cool.
Thank you for your patience.
So it seems like we have been temporarily delayed. You can see over there, I think that's the stuff that goes over to Hollywood Studios. Let me zoom in. They have stopped as well. So it's kind of interesting. Be a bummer if you had to go to the bathroom. I don't know how long this delay is going to be. You can see the rooftops of the beach resort. And I'm going to sit back down because it's swaying a little bit. But that is the Riviera there in the out of focus distance because of the sunscreen or the sunshade, I guess.
Thank you for your...
Okay, looks like we're moving again. I'm gonna put my mask back on, but I wanted you to see my new hat again. I really like it. So this is the Riviera Resort. We're making it what appears to be a left turn to head over to EPCOT. My doors are closing. Here we go. Be taking off here. Woohoo! Well, I might just ride this again. Well, I get to ride it tomorrow again, going to Hollywood Studios.
Welcome aboard the Disney Skyliner.
I might just take a couple laps on this sucker. This is fun.
If you're just joining us, we are on our way to EPCOT.
You hear her? We're on our way to EPCOT. I lost track of where
Ladies and gentlemen,
Spaceship Earth is. There it is. It's way over there.
Relax and enjoy the most magical flight on Earth.
That's Hollywood Studios up there. I know you probably can't see it in the picture, but anyway, pretty cool. There's a highway. I don't know what highway that is, but you can see Skyliners going by. That was Winnie the Pooh. I don't know what that one was. There goes Goofy. Here comes another one. That's Pluto. I don't know if you can see him. Oh, Mickey Mouse. Anyway, we're almost there. Here we are in EPCOT through security screening. I'm really not sure where we're at. I believe we might be in the England portion. Check some stuff out here. Anyway, look how beautiful this is. Okay. Oh boy. Look at the size of that tree. I don't know if you can see it, but it's massive from here. I don't even know if you can hear me. Okay. So there's something you don't see every day. A reverse waterfall. Look close. Spaceship Earth. Pretty amazing. Okay, Spaceship Earth.
Debbie?
Harvests now and into the future. The tropics thrive in wet, swampy areas and waterways. All parts of this plant, even the flower petals, are edible. The starchy root of the plant has long been used to make flour for baking. These plants are definitely on their way up. Innovative growing techniques like these increase yield. Some of our best ideas have been inspired by nature, like these fruit and vegetable trees. By growing these ground plants vertically, we can increase yields and better control diseases. These crops taste as good as they look.
We are on our way.
This is the end of my
to
trip.
Disney's
I'm
Caribbean
headed back
Beach
to the
Resort
hotel,
with
and
connecting flights
tomorrow
to
morning I
EPCOT
gotta grab a
International
plane
Gateway,
back to
Disney's Pop Century Resort,
back home, and then the next
Disney's
day
Art of
back to
Animation
work.
Resort.
I had a great time. I think
We hope you enjoyed your visit to Hollywood today.
it was worth the trip,
Now
and
wave
I
goodbye
recommend
to your
anybody who
adoring
wants to
fans
come to Walt
below.
Disney World.
Bye.
It's definitely should spend 3 or 4 days to get the full experience, and I highly recommend the Skyliner. Okay, this is it. I'm waiting for the Magic Express to take me back to the airport. It's about 5:15 in the morning, Orlando time. This is the front of the Caribbean Beach Resort. Again, I had a great time and look forward to coming back soon. Bye. Okay, so my adventure at EPCOT and my adventure as a whole to Walt Disney World Resort is now complete. There's a ton of history around EPCOT. I just gave you just a teeny taste. I highly recommend Googling it. It's fascinating. And I highly recommend going to Walt Disney World. Getaway Today is the travel agency that I used. There's a young lady there, Brooklyn. She was tremendously helpful. If you're not comfortable making plans to travel, call Brooklyn at Getaway Today. She's the best. She'll be more than happy to help you out. When I go again, I'll be using Brooklyn and Getaway Today, and I'm even thinking about going to Tokyo, Paris, Shanghai, and Hong Kong here down the road, and I'm assuming Getaway Today can help me with that. Anyway, as always, like, share, subscribe, comment. Please check back. Again, we're going to do Celebration. We're going to do another episode of the Disney name tags. I've got several typewriters that we need to talk about. This Oliver here, I think I own 102, and I've only done videos on 4 or 5. No, the 102, not all of them are that interesting, but there's a lot of them that are. So by the time we're done, you guys will all be buying typewriters. Anyway, in this world, when you can be anything you want to be, you be kind, you be humble, you be forgiving, and you be melting snow. See you next time. Bye-bye.